You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12 thinks the Sun Devils are not the first, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, but the fifth best team in the Big 12 for his preseason poll. I have thoughts. Thanks for stopping by this live edition of the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Richie Bradshaw, your host, your friend, your guide for all things Sun Devils, from the gridiron to the hardwood and everything in between. Real quick, before we get started, today's episode was brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. This is a live edition of Locked On Sun Devils. So again, thank you all for tuning in. If you are tuning in for the first time, do not worry. These are archived. You can listen to it later. If you miss it, you can watch again on YouTube. It will be available wherever you get your podcast. If you are in the live, thank you so much for jumping in. Drop a comment. That's the best part about these lives. Let's have a conversation. Apologize ahead of time. I am very nasally today. Have a good old-fashioned allergy attack. But yeah, we can't not talk about this. Drake Toll, come on, man. What are we doing? Oh, my goodness. Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12. One of the best guys in the world. I know a lot of people are kind of up and down with him. I love Drake Toll. That is my man. He knows ball, except when it comes to the Sun Devils, apparently, as he has Arizona State Sun Devils as the fifth team in his Big 12 preseason rankings. That is certainly something. And it's not good. Drake, I love you, man. I do. This is such a swing and a miss. I don't have a graphic currently, unfortunately, for the podcast. We weren't able to get that done in time. I will read it to you guys. First place, not a surprise because it's everyone's preseason darling. It's Spencer McLaughlin's preseason darling. From Locked On College Football, Texas Tech, number one. In typical Drake Toll fashion, with all the respect in the world, BYU, number two. Come on, man. Come on, man. Number three, Utah. We're doing this again. Number four, K-State. I like K-State. K-State is going to be a contender this year. And finally, we arrive with Arizona State, number five. Drake has them going 9-3 this year. I have not had a chance to listen to his podcast to see where ASU's three losses are. If I had to take a guess, I would assume Texas Tech is probably one of those losses. Utah is one of those losses. And let's go Iowa State. I'm going to guess those are the losses there. Following Arizona State, Baylor at 6. Houston at 7, absolutely crazy. I like Houston this year. I do. I wouldn't say bullish on Houston. I do think they're going to be good. One game worse than the Sun Devils is insanity. West Virginia, number 8. I do like West Virginia this year, by the way. TCU, number 9. Kansas, number 10. Iowa State, number 11. That's another, holy cow, Drake. What are we thinking on that one? Number 12, Oklahoma State. Number 13, Colorado. Number 14, Cincinnati. Number 15, U of A. And number 16, UCF. Holy cow. That is something. By the way, Colorado at 13, still 6-6. So Drake does love the parity, and Drake does love having a bunch of teams in the Big 12 end up being bowl teams. Oklahoma State is 6-6. Iowa State 7-5. I don't get that one. Drake, I love you, man. If for some reason you stop by the show today, drop a comment and let me know the reasoning for this. So it's something. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this ranking. Fifth. The team that just went 10-2 a year ago in the regular season. Doesn't win, dominates the Big 12 conference championship game, and then takes Texas, SEC Texas, former Big 12 team Texas, to double overtime. They're a play away from winning that game. And then they bring back the second most production in college football. They bring back almost every starter on defense. They bring back quarterback one, wide receiver one, two guys that are being talked about as first round picks for next year. They bring back the entire coaching staff, including Marcus Arroyo, who was up for the Royals Award last year as the top assistant coach in the country. All of that is back. All of it. Fifth. Meanwhile, let's look at the teams ahead of them. Texas Tech, number one. Paper champs. Until further notice, they are paper champs. That is not supposed to be disparaging. There are Texas Tech Red Raider fans who pop on the show every once in a while. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I like Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is one of the three teams that has the best chance to face ASU in the Big 12 because ASU's winning the conference again. Sorry to tell you, if they did it last year with this team, why would they not do it again with practically the same team? Oh, Cam Scadaboo's gone. That's crazy because how much the rest of the team is back? Why is Cam Scadaboo, the people's running back, one of the best Sun Devils of the last 10 years since the turn of the century? This is not a Cam Scadaboo slander show. We have loved Cam Scadaboo since the moment he transferred from Sacramento State. But Cam Scadaboo was not the entire team here in Tempe. And yet you would certainly think he is because the national response has been ASU is really down. And now from my own network, my own colleague, Spencer McLaughlin, has ASU fourth place in the Big 12. Now, granted, I do have this one, so I will throw up this preseason ranking from Spencer McLaughlin from Locked On College Football that does have Arizona State second. Now, unfortunately, he does have them finishing fourth behind Texas Tech, behind Utah, and behind K-State. Those are the team Spencer McLaughlin is taking to finish ahead of ASU this year. He also has them going 9-3. Now, when the Big 12 did their own rankings, now this was from the hosts from Locked On Big 12. So you had all of the shows. We currently do not have a Bearcat show. So we obviously have Drake Toll vote in that spot. So 16 votes. And oh, look at that. ASU number one. So ASU number one in the Big 12 poll for Locked On Sun Devils. They are number two for the Locked On College Football host, even though he has them finishing fourth, right? At least he understands, like, yeah, it's the second best team. Drake Toll has them fifth. Fifth place. What am I supposed to do with that? Fifth place. Let's get back on track to where I was. Texas Tech. They are the paper champs until further notice. They made some of the best moves in college football this offseason. They still have good players coming back, too. I'm a Baron Morton fan. I think he's a very good quarterback. He is easily in the top half of the conference for the quarterbacks that we have available to us. Do not be mistaken. Come on, man. Why are we not valuing returning production the way that we should be valuing returning production? Like that's the part that just blows my mind. Is we're so excited about the potential of what these teams have instead of what's proven with Arizona State. That's what's crazy. And that leads me to BYU at number two. Drake, what are we doing with BYU, man? What are we doing with BYU? 10-2. We have no idea how their quarterback situation is going to look. The schedule is interesting. It is front-loaded, or it might be back-loaded. I can't remember. One half of their schedule is an absolute gauntlet. The other half is a cakewalk. I understand, but last I checked, that could be 6-6, not 10-2. If Jake Retzloff is there, sure, I get it. But Jake Retzloff is not there. Not only is he not there, he left a month ago. It was after spring ball. It was after a whole circus that was going on this off season. So it's how do you have them that high? And they still lost good players like Tyler Batty. Their ace sack artist is gone. Keelan was not Keelan Russell. I can't remember. They had an All-American return man who's gone. Like there are players gone from BYU that are just as important as ASU, and yet ASU has more all-conference players that are returning. You have them 3 places behind BYU. I don't know what to do with that. Utah at number 3. Utah was good last year, by the way. If they had adequate quarterback play, so Cam Rising, he was what he was. He was not good. We can call it what it is. If they had stable quarterback play, the things that Utah typically wins with, strong defense and a run game, they still had that. And a lot of that team is back. That defense is still going to be strong. They were 5-7 last year, but please don't forget, ASU fans, that they were a drive away from beating us. Please do not forget that. We can't just toss Utah to the side. With that being said, we're going from, man, if they just had good quarterback last year, to, hey, here's a group of 5 quarterback who is very questionable as a passer, but he can run. Like, okay, that's exciting. It's not something Utah has seen, really. Well, he was one of the most erratic quarterbacks last year. Of course, his name is escaping me right now. The New Mexico quarterback, of course, is who I'm referring to. If his name pops back into my head, why are we just assuming that he's what Utah was missing when he was not nearly as proven as some of the other guys who entered the portal? Like, they could have gone for Nico Iamaleava. I would have felt way better about that. They could have gone for Darian Mensah, who was at Tulane. I would have felt way better about that. They could Devin Dampier. Thank you so much. By the way, some of the comments are in. Appreciate you guys. HIG, I can't read that first comment, my man, but some of the other comments from HIG, we have a field goal kicker now. We go undefeated in the regular season last year. If we could kick a reasonable field goal, both the Texas Tech and Cincinnati game we lost. Yeah, well, especially Cincinnati, dude. Oh, my God. That's the game that started the whole thing. Jorge Aguilar, thanks for hopping in. So much disrespect. Only have like 17 returning. It's at least 17, man. It's at least 17. So in terms of like the actual starters on defense, I don't know, because they did so much rotating. Because you do lose Caleb McCullough and Shamari Simmons and Jeff Clark and some other guys like that, but I don't know who was technically starting and who was not. And then on offense, like you do lose Cam Scadaboo, I get it. You lose Lee Fotanu, I get it. You lose the vast majority of your receivers, I get it. But you bring back the other super important players for your team. Again, apologies for the allergies. I'm sure I sound great right now. But yeah, no, blows my mind. So back to Utah with Devin Dampier. Like, he's great. He's exciting. We have no idea if he can throw the football at a high enough level in the Big 12, which, by the way, is stacked at quarterback. I don't know if you guys know. There's Sam Levitt. There's Sawyer Robertson at Baylor. There's Avery Johnson at Kansas State. There's Baron Morton at Texas Tech. There's Josh Hoover at TCU. There's Jalen Daniels at Kansas. There's Rocco Becht at Iowa State. That's cream of the crop right there. But then you have the exciting Devin Dampier. You have the exciting Connor Wegman. You have the exciting Caden Salter at Colorado, who at some point they'll probably go with Juju Lewis. Noah Fafita is what he is, but he's not the worst quarterback in the Big 12. It's a stacked conference. Devin Dampier can easily be in the bottom half of the conference. Easily, ladies and gentlemen, easily. I'm not there. I'm not there. That defense, dominant, and they have a lot returning that is going to make them a very good football team. They are not better than ASU right now. We're going to find out. Kansas State, number 4. I like Kansas State. I do. I like them every year. So long as they continue to be as well coached as they are, and as so long as they continue to restock the cupboard with good football players like they have, then yeah, I'm not out on Kansas State, not anytime soon. I'm still not taking them ahead of ASU, especially with what ASU did to them last year in Manhattan with a similar team. I can't. I cannot get there, ladies and gentlemen. So ASU 9-3, 5th overall. I don't hate that. That's what Spencer McLaughlin, Locked On College Football, had for ASU, was 9-3. Spencer asked me, because we did this crossover about a month ago or so. Spencer will be on the show very, very soon. I am going to be doing everything I can to get Drake Toll on the show very, very soon. But Spencer asked me, he said, hey, is 9-3 insulting? And I told him, I said, no, it's not insulting at all. Like, you have to remember that ASU is coming off of consecutive 3-win seasons and then exploded for 11. So you're fighting the allegations of being frauds. If you win 9 games again, yeah, that's a good season. And in the Big 12, 9 wins puts you on the doorstep of getting into the Big 12 championship game. That's a good record. And ASU has a tough schedule this year. Your road games are not great. You visit Baylor to open Big 12 play. You visit Utah. And again, Utah is a good football team with the rivalry aspect. You go to Iowa State in November. I will tell you right now, my record prediction will be coming out very soon. That's a loss. I cannot get past that right now. Now, granted, I said that about Kansas State last year too. I said Kansas State guaranteed loss. And by the time we got to the game, I said, no, they're going to win that game. Things change. Right now, I look at that game and I go, I don't know how we win that. Like, it's going to be cold. That's still a really good football team. They're a very well-coached football team, and you better believe they're going to be pretty PO'd about what happened in the Big 12 championship game. Plus, by that point in the year, we're going to have a really good idea who's in the running for the Big 12 championship. And if Iowa State is right there, because ASU's in the driver's seat until further notice. Call me biased if you want. I call it what it is. They're going to be playing some tough football, man. That's a hard game. So ASU does have a tough schedule this year. They also have some really important home games. They're hosting TCU, who I am very bullish on. I really like TCU this year. They're hosting Texas Tech, the darlings of the Big 12. They are hosting Houston, and I think that Houston is a sneaky good team. Now, I just said not that long ago, I don't like that they're only 1 win behind ASU at 8-4, but I do think that Houston's going bowling this year. For sure, I feel very confident about that. And next year, when that insane recruiting class comes in, yeah, I'm buying Houston stock. They were tough last year. They're going to be tough again this year. That's a game I'm really happy ASU has at home. They also go to Colorado. I'm not out on Colorado. I don't think they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to be bad either. I think Colorado's still around a 7-win team. I am not out on Colorado. But it really does depend on that quarterback play. They're similar to Utah, except that Utah's floor is much higher for me. So ASU schedule's tough. I get it. I understand. So if that's what you're looking at and you go, well, ASU has to have these 3 incredibly difficult road games. By the way, do not sleep on going to Starkville and playing Mississippi State in week 2. I don't feel good about that game. I don't. They played ASU really well last year. And I also understand that was a different ASU team. If the ASU team that we saw in the college football playoff played that Mississippi State team, they would dog walk them. It was a different team at that point in time. But Mississippi State got better. They got a whole other year under a new head coach. I think that's going to be a team that's just going to be a tough out. They're going to be the Houston of the SEC this year, where you look at the schedule and you're like, that's a win. Yeah, we're going to win that game easy. And then you enter the fourth quarter of that game and you're like, we got to figure this out. You're either trailing or you're barely leading in that game. I think that Mississippi State is going to be a tough team to play this year. So I'm not sleeping on that game either. So ASU's got tough road games. I get it. ASU also has some of their most important games at home. TCU's at home. I'm bullish on TCU. They get that at home. They got Texas Tech, the darlings of the Big 12, at home. These are big deals. These matter. Having these games at home compared to going on the road. How different is it if you have to go to, TCU, I apologize. It's not Fort Worth. It might be Fort Worth. I can't remember. Going to TCU is a much different experience than hosting them. Going to Lubbock is a much different experience. It's tough. It's really, really tough the way the schedule laid out for ASU. But you know what? Bring back a hell of a squad. They do. They bring back a hell of a squad. Sam Leavitt, second team, all conference, freshman of the year. Jordan Tyson, first team, all conference, newcomer of the year. 4 of your 5 starters on the offensive line are back, which includes honorable mention Ben Coleman, who is moving from guard to center. By the way, keep an eye out. There's some stuff I've seen that he might actually go back out to left guard. And the brothers who transferred in from Iowa State, one of them could be moving inside the center. And of course, I don't remember their names off the top of my head. But it is Fort Worth. Thank you very much. I'll hop back to the comments here in just a second. That's back. Starting tight end Shimon Mateer, he was good last year. He's back. You upgraded at receiver. Truly, it's just we're going to have to wait and find out what they are. Like Jalen Moss, Jaron Hamilton, I'm big on them. For all we know, they may not be as big of an impact as I think that they are. We'll wait and see. Let's look at the defense. Yeah, looks pretty good. Shamari Simmons, huge loss. You still have Xavion Alford. First team, all Big 12. Friend of the podcast, Xavion Alford. Ghost Rouser still back there. He's pretty good. Montana Warren's going into year 3. He's pretty good. After a really bad opening drive against Texas, he really figured it out, and he played good football. Yeah, we're good there. You have 2 ace corners, 1A, 1B, with Keith Abney and Javen Robinson. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Almost your entire linebacking core is back. You lost Caleb McCullough. Guess what? Tate Romney's back. Tate Romney was injured last year. He was your 5th leading tackler in 2023. He is going to take over the role in that rotational, the heavy rotation that ASU has at the linebacker spot, and he's going to play well next to Keyshawn Elliott, next to Jordan Crook, next to Zyrus Fiaseu. That's a heck of a 4-man combo. Your entire edge rushing room is back. I know ASU did not get a lot of sacks last year, but it's still very important that you have that consistency. That's a big deal. Almost your entire interior line is back. CJ Fight, all conferences returning. Jacob Richcon-Geika, insanely good. Zach Swanson, I think there's good potential there. I'm excited for Michael Gardner. We'll wait and see. And then earlier we brought up in the comment section that ASU got a better field goal kicker. Jesus Gomez, who was already an ASU legend for getting Herm Edwards fired, which led to Kenny Dillingham. Yeah, that's a big deal too. So it's as good a team. You want to talk about paper champs? You want to talk about the paper warriors and stuff like that? Why is ASU not in that same breath? Why is ASU not in the same breath of paper champs that Texas Tech is? Is it because Texas Tech is brand new? Because we haven't even seen those guys play on the field together. Like, yeah, Romello Height and David Bailey and Lee Hunter and the rest of that defense that got retooled with like Jacob Martinez at linebacker. Yeah, it's really good on paper. We have not seen it. You know what we have seen? We've seen Clayton Smith playing with CJ Fight, with Keyshawn Elliott, with Xavier Alford, and our two ace corners. And then we brought guys in through the portal too. Yeah, just because we didn't get David Bailey doesn't mean we didn't add Michael Gardner. Doesn't mean we didn't add Nyland Green and Kendrick Breedlove. And I don't get it. Okay, offensively, Texas Tech, they got some guys for sure. They don't have Jordan Tyson. I'm sorry. And until someone in this conference has Jordan Tyson, you are not going to pass the ball better than ASU. Baylor is the closest team to that. With, is it Cam Coleman? No, Cam Coleman is at Auburn. Oh man, I don't know. These allergies are getting to me, I guess. But there is not a team in this conference that is better than Levitt Tyson. And that should matter. But it just doesn't feel like it does. It does not feel like what ASU is returning matters. I don't know if this is a schedule thing. If that is truly all it is ASU has a tougher schedule than Texas Tech. And I don't know if they do. I haven't looked at Texas Tech's schedule intensely. But if that's all we got, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, not to compare calls with the pros, but I don't know, feels like every year the Kansas City Chiefs, who finished first place in our conference every single year, that means they face the first place teams from the rest of the AFC and from whatever NFC team is going to roll around. And they still win their conference. There's division every year. They win the conference more often than not. That's despite facing great competition. That's despite this team losing players every year. Again, college and pros, very different. But there's no questions. I don't know. I don't know. We can have this conversation in 2026 when ASU does lose the vast majority of this team. This is going to be a very different looking team in 2026. Very different. Then we can have the conversation. But this is not the year to have the conversation. It's just not. Can lightning strike twice? If it's the same team, yeah, I don't see why not. If this is a different looking team, if this is 2026 coming off 2024, right? Levitt's gone, Tyson's gone, 4 of your 5 starters are gone. Basically, your entire defense is different. You're rolling out with different starters at several positions. Yeah, then I get it. Then we can have the conversation that maybe ASU is set for a few steps backwards. It's not the case. It's not the case. It's not the case. It's just not. All right. Chat has been popping off a little bit. Thank you guys so much. We're going to go through some chats real quick before we hop off on this bad boy because it's right about dinner time right now. So, Dottore Peste, I hope I did not butcher that. My apologies. I'd run through a brick wall for Dilly. The culture at ASU is just so different from the Hermere. I think the boys are fired up. That's another thing that should matter, and it matters a lot to the people in the Valley and to Tempe, Arizona. We get it. The other people don't get it. That was the big problem with Texas. If you guys remember, I was one of the most hated people in Austin, Texas, right before the playoff game, because that's what I said, is this team is just different. They're dialed in. They're excited. This, that, and the other. And Texas fans are like, okay, but you're not that good. Like, you can't stack up to us. And then we almost beat them, and they're like, oh, shoot. But a different word than shoot. Maybe these guys are worth something. Those things do matter. Jorge Aguilar, Dude, Levitt, and Tyson remind me of Plummer and Poole. If you give me Plummet to Plummer to Poole, not trying to combine their names. The team that went to the Rose Bowl that year, Keith Poole, man. This not the stance. Oh, the pose? Was that it? The pose that he struck on Chris McAllister? Yeah, give me that. Give me that. Boys like this stream. Much appreciated, my friend. He's a Baylor alum and put us down almost the entire 2024 season. What's new? If Resloff was there, it would be BYU from Ray Tate. I agree. I love Drake. I do. I think that he is a lot more fair and balanced. More often than not, there's definitely an appreciation for some programs like BYU, but I do think that Drake does cut it pretty clean. This was not one of those instances, for sure. For sure. The late season trip to Colorado and Iowa State make me nervous. Cold and Boulder is at an altitude. Exactly. Like if you're looking at why could ASU lose these games and you want to base it off the schedule, okay, I kind of hear you. Kinda. This is still a good football team, man. Dillingham thinks the tight end group is deep this year, in the deepest in his entire career. I agree. This tight end room was insane. And if we don't get the production we want out of the receivers, then we need to go to the tight ends because Shamon's a stud. Kamari Anderson has blown me away from what I've seen. AJ Ia is the biggest teenager I've ever seen in my life. He looks like he's already been in the NFL. Man. That night, seeing Crow walk over to him, talking about Herm Edwards, fire him on the field, goosebumps. $50 million is a lot of money. Should get a decent truck for $50 million. Jalen Conyers transferred to Texas Tech last year, but missed their historic run. Must have felt bad. Yeah, that's a whole other thing, though, right? So, live it up while we have it. And then as we round it out here, I think Toll thinks game 8 or 9 before he gave ASU recognition and never gave up on BYU. I don't blame him for not giving up on BYU. They were defeating the allegations all year long. But I'm waiting for Drake to eat his words on the Sun Devils. And it's going to happen this year. So my bold predictions are coming very soon. I've got stat predictions that are coming up, but we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Thank you guys for hopping in. This was a pop-in stream. It's amazing what we can do together when we come to make fun of the one and only Drake Toll. ASU is not 5th place in the Big 12 this year. If they do, I will eat a bowl of crow. Like I'll own up to it. I'll eat my hat, whatever, man. They're not going to. So I got my record prediction coming up very, very soon. I'll let you guys know it's better than 9-3. But again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to make Locked On Sun Devils your first listen of the day. Thanks to the everydayers for here every day. Talk to you guys later. Until next time, you keep it locked right here on Locked On.